Section 10.3b, simplify radicals. If you remember, the radicals are the square roots or cube roots or fourth roots. And if we're going to simplify them, we're going to make them simpler. Now, there's an explanation. Okay, so when we're simplifying radicals, we've got several steps here that we're going to follow. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to take out anything that's in that root that can come out. So the first step is going to be to write the number under the radical in prime factors. So get all the smallest pieces that we can get. So divide them all out using your factor trees. And then we're going to take out any number that has a group equal to the root. Why don't we do one? We'll just do it and I'll talk you through what this means. So step 1, write the number under the radical in prime factors. So square root of 18, we've got 18 is 2 times 9, and 9 is 3 times 3. So we're going to write the square root of 18 as 2 times 3 times 3. Now step 2 is take out any number that has a group equal to the root. Now, I like to call this the go fish number, okay? What we're doing is this. Whatever the root is, we need a group of that many. So in a square root, we don't have a 2 up there, but it's a square root, it needs 2. So what you're doing is you're looking in your hand of numbers under the box to see, do we have any groups of 2? And in this case, we do. We have one group of 2 here. We've got 2 3s. Now, you've got to be careful. You're not going to take both of them out and say, oh, this is 9 outside the box. You want the square root of that 3 times 3. So the way I like to think of it is this. If you're playing Go Fish and you have a pair, what you do is you stack those up and you put them in a pile beside you on the table, and you only see the one that's on the top, okay? So we're taking out a group of 3s. What we see on the top is just a 3. So we're going to take out a 3, and we know that there's a pile of 3s under there, but the 3 is what shows. So the square root of this 3 times 3 is the 3. All right, the 2 is left all by its little lonesome, and so it has to stay under that square root symbol. So we have 3, square root of 2 is our final answer. All right, we didn't get to do step 3, multiply any remaining factors. I'll show you that in a little bit. But so that's what step 2 means. Take out any number that has a group equal to the root. So when we get down to here, we'll see another number. But let's do this one. This is a little bit different because we have a number on the outside already. It has to stay on the outside. So now we're going to take our 72 and do number 1. Write the prime factors. So 72 is 8 times 9, and 8 is 2 times 4, and 4 is 2 times 2, and 9 is 3 times 3. So now when we're writing our prime factors, remember, take the bottom of the tree. You don't care about anything in the middle. You just want the bottom branches there. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. 2, 2, 2, 3, and 3. All right. Step 2, look for any matches. Let's go fish. All right, we've got a pair of 2s and we've got a pair of 3s. This 2 is going to be lonesome, so it has to stay by itself. So you're going to bring out the pairs. So you still have your 5. Don't lose that one. Now you're going to bring out a pair of 2s, so you're going to bring out a 2. And a pair of 3s, you're going to bring out 3. And what's left under here is a 2. Now, what you do with these is you just multiply them together. So 5 times 2 is 10, times 3 is 30. So your final answer is 30, square root of 2. And that's your final answer. That is simplified as it can go. All right, let's try one that has a cube root instead of a square root. Same type of thing, same thing to begin with. 40, let's find the 4 times 10. 4 is 2 times 2, and 10 is 2 times 5. If you know your multiplication facts, these are a breeze. All right, so the cube root is 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. So 40 is the same as 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. Now, here's where it's a little bit different. Take out any number that has a group equal to the root. In this case, our root is 3. So I like to call that my go fish number. In order to have a go fish, in order to have a complete set, now you have to have 3. So in this case, we have 3 2s. So the same thing happens when you bring out that pile of 2s. You're just going to look at the top number. So we've got a pile of 2s, and that's just 2. And then the cube root of 5 stays under. And that's your final answer. Okay, same thing with fourth root. A little bit of a bigger number, 162. Let's just divide by 2. 8 times 2 is 16, 81. And 8 is 9 times 9. 9 is 3 times 3. And this 9 is also 3 times 3. So we've got 4 on the outside. It stays on the outside. And then we've got a fourth root of 162, which is the same as 2 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Whew. All right. And so now your Go Fish number is 4. In order for something to come out of this box, there have to be 4 of the exact same thing. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 threes. So let's bring them out. Don't lose this 4. So you've got this 4 times a 3. And then 2 has to step. Boy, that 2 is just lonely under there all the time. Fourth root of 2. So 4 times 3 is 12. So 12, fourth root of 2 is your final answer in this case. All right. Okay, let's do another one. Third root of 324, and now this is going to be the same thing that we've been doing. So see if you can do it. See if you can do it on your own while I'm doing it, and see if yours matches up with mine. Okay. So do your tree. 324. I'm going to divide by 4 first, and that's 81. Oops, not 8 times 1, 81. 4 is 2 times 2. 81 is 9 times 9, and each 9 is 3 times 3. So we're going to have a cube root of 2 times 2 times 3, 3, 3, and 3. My Go Fish number is 3. So there's only 2 2s, so I can't take them. They got to stay. But I do have 1, 2, 3 3s, and then I have a leftover 3. So bring this set of 3s out as a pile. And then what's inside stays inside, but now you just multiply them back together. There, I think, is the first time that we've gotten to use step 3. Multiply the remaining factors and leave them under the sign. So we've got a 2, and a 3 left over under that sign, so just multiply them. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So you've got 3 cube root of 12, and you're done. All right, this one is a little bit different. All of these have been working with numbers. Now we're going to throw some numbers or some letters at you. Variables, they actually really don't make it that much more difficult because, watch. The only thing is it's harder to keep track of how many and what and when multiplying them together. So here we go. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. And because my Go Fish number is 2, I'm just going to take out pairs of X's. Now, here's the crazy thing. So we took out this pair and we have an X. We take out this pair, we have an X. We take out this pair, we have an X. So we have 3 factors of X. So 1, 2, 3 sets. So we can say X to the 3rd power. And there's 1 left and it has to stay under the box. All right, now I have a extra little bonus here, all right? Another way of doing this, if it starts to confuse you, that's okay. Just kind of gloss over for a little bit and keep doing it this way, and that's fine, and it'll always work. Let me show you that, remember, this square root is the same as the 1/2 power. So this is X to the 7/2 power, all right? So you want to look to see, well, how many halves are in there? And do you remember changing improper fractions to mixed numbers? So 7 divided by 2 is 3 with 1/2 left. So this is X to the 3 1/2 power. All right. So what happens is this X to the 3rd is just X to the 3rd. And this 1/2 power is a square root. And that's the same as this. All right, so if that makes sense to you, and oh, that's pretty cool. So if you've got a square root, you just take whatever exponent you have here and divide it by 2. And if you have any leftovers, those leftovers have to stay under the box. But if you don't have any leftovers, then it can all come out of the box. Pretty cool. All right, same thing here. The 3 has to stay. 24. 24 is 6 times 4. 6 is 2 times 3, and 4 is 2 times 2. So now we have 2 times 3 times 2 times 2 times a to the 5th, and I'm just going to do it this way just because I think it's easier this way. So a to the 5 halves and b to the 9 halves. Okay, so we need a pair because our go fish number is 2 and we have a pair of 2's. So that can come out. And when we divide 5 divided by 2, this is a to the 2 and 1/2. Because 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. And this is b to the 4 and 1/2. 4 and 4 is 8, and 1 more is 9. So now what we have is, we have the 3. Let me move it over here. We have the 3 that we already had, times this 2, times a squared, times b to the 4th. And what's left under the box is 2 times 3 times another a and 1b left over. So what's left under is the fractions. We've got one of them here and one of them there. And so then, I'm running out of space. So now my final answer, I'm just going to multiply it all together. So my final answer is going to be 6a squared b to the 4th square root of 6ab. All right. Okay, 2 more. Now we're going to multiply those square roots. Now, sometimes it's handy just to take the square root first and then multiply, but sometimes there's not a square root of 3 and there's not a square root of 6. So instead of taking the square roots first and then multiplying, what I can do is multiply 3 times 6 under the same square root. And 6, is 2 times 3. So now I have 3 times 2 times 3. And now I have a perfect square under here because these 3's are a pair. Because you're just looking for a pair because your go fish number is 2. So now the 3 will come out and there's a 2 left. So 3 square root of 2 and you're done. Ha-ha. All right, this last one, let me make sure there's room on the screen because we're going to, there we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do both together. All right, so we need to put things that are alike together. So this 5 and this 3 are outside of the boxes, so they can go together. 5 times 3. And now what's inside the box all stays inside the box. But let's put the numbers together and then the variables. So we have 3 times 15. And you can either just write it 15 and then break it down, or I happen to know that 15 is 3 times 5. So I can just do that right away. So 3 times 5. And then we have times 1, 2, 3 x's, and this is times 1, 2 x's. Okay? And you could do this the fraction way if you wanted. These are smaller numbers, so it was easier just to write the x's. All right, so now we've got a set of 3's. We've got a set of x's and another set of x's. So now only what's circled gets to come out. So the 5 and the 3 are already out. A set of 3's gets to come out. A set of x's and another set of x's. So 2 sets of x's. And what's left under the box is a 5 and an x. So now simplify it. 5 times 3 is 15, and 15 times 3 is 45. X squared, square root of 5x. Ooh, and be careful. This is the squared, not the, it's not a 2 on that part. The 5, or the x needs to be squared. All right. So there's quite a bit there. And now I don't know if I'm chopping my head off. Oh, man. All right. So there's quite a bit, but it's all just simplifying, and I think you'll do fine, and I'll see you soon. Bye.